The 2017 Africa Cup of Nations still fresh in the memory, but the journey toward the 2019 edition in Cameroon starts today. Ivory Coast failed to defend their continental crown in February, now looking to prove a point against Guinea in the opening match of Group H.
I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance with Geico.
Huh. I should take a closer look at Geico.
Geico can help with way more than car insurance. Boats, homes, motorcycles, even umbrella coverage.
This guy's gonna wish he brought his umbrella. Fire at will!
How'd you know the guy's name is Will?
Yeah.
It's an expression, you know? Fire at will? You never heard of that?
Oh, there goes Will.
Bye, Will.
That's not his name.
Take a closer look at Geico. Great savings and a whole lot more.
I see stories in people's faces, in their hands, in their eyes. People tell me stories without saying one word, so I listen. Then I give it back. What are you chasing? Hennessy. Never stop, never settle.
You check in frequently to see how the markets are doing. But what you really need to know is how you're doing. Where do you go for that? Right here, personalcapital.com. Join for free and link your accounts. You'll get your own personal financial dashboard and see all your accounts in one place. Income, spending, how your investments are doing, even your net worth, all in real time. You'll get all these free tools, including a retirement planner that takes the guesswork out of retirement. Join for free at personalcapital.com.
This magic moment, so different and so new, was like any other. Until I looked at you, and then oh, it took me by surprise. I knew that you felt.
Todos manejamos, pero algunos aún disfrutamos hacerlo.
This Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers match is brought to you in part by Ford, the new 2017 Ford Fusion, and AT&T.
Hello and welcome to BN Sports coverage of the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers for Cameroon 2019. It's Ivory Coast and Guinea as we pause for the national anthems.
Maintenant, l'hymne de la Côte d'Ivoire, la Bicanaire.
Ivory Coast failed to defend their continental crown back in February, suffering a disappointing group stage exit in Gabon. We're now the top-ranked African nation out to prove a point as they take on Guinea to open up qualifying action in Group H. Guinea, who reached the quarterfinals in 2015 but a dismal qualifying campaign, seemed to miss out on Gabon. On the road to Cameroon starts against their toughest opponent in the group stage and on the road against Côte d'Ivoire. Alongside Matteo Bonetti, I'm Andres Cordero as we take a look at the starting 11 for Marc Wilmots, the former Belgian national team coach, now with the helm of Ivory Coast. And Sylvain Bohuo, who is in goal, the back four of Serge Aurier, Eric Bailly, Wilfred Cano, and Adama Traore. Gabon, Cassie and Seri in midfield with Cornecio and Doumbia up top. And Matteo, a look at the 11 for Guinea, in what appears to be a 4-2-3-1 with Abiyatana in goal, Bengura, Kamara, Pogba, and Isiaga Sila. That's Florentin Pogba, the brother of Paul, who captains Guinea. Onabi Keita, Ousmane Balde, the double pivot. Three-man attacking midfield line of Francois Kamano, Seydou Souma, Sadio Diallo, and Demba Kamara of Paris FC up top.
And plenty of talent on both these sides. You can clearly see why Ivory Coast is ranked as the top team. When you look at their defense, the midfield, the attack, there's plenty of firepower scattered throughout Europe from both of these teams with Champions League experience and really have been playing at the highest level. Of course, also spurred forward by the untimely and tragic passing of Cheick Tiote, ex-Newcastle midfielder who died when he was over in China just a few days ago. And Ivory Coast, obviously, a few somber heads going into this one under Marc Wilmots. They say they're going to be playing for him.
The officiating crew led by the Angolan referee Elder Martins de Carvalho. Serge Aurier captains the Ivory Coast today. As mentioned, Florentin Pogba has the captain's armband for Guinea.
It's a great leader at the back for Guinea. Florentin Pogba had a great season with Saint-Etienne. Made up one of the best defenses in Ligue 1, brother of Paul.
Both of Pogba brothers are in the squad, the other being Matthias Pogba, who's on the bench today. The 26-year-old from Sparta Rotterdam could have a part to play off the bench. Here's a look at Wilmots. The results in the last two games have been less than he'd hoped for, but the focus squarely on beating Guinea in this opener. Now a moment of silence after the passing of Cheick Tiote, which is 30 years old. Ivory Coast international that's gone too soon. Newcastle man who's also played in Belgium. He's playing in China with his club Beijing when he passed away on training. There's Lape Bangura, the head coach of his Guinea side. Has his work cut out for him today against Marc Wilmots' Elephants. It's elephant against elephant today. The national elephants of Guinea against the elephants of Ivory Coast. 48 nations split into 12 groups of 4 in this qualifying phase. The group winners will all advance to join the host nation Cameroon in the final, and that only leaves enough room for the top 3 runners-up to also qualify. Ivory Coast, a big favorite to win the group. As the ball rolls on the Stade Bouaké in Bouaké, Ivory Coast, it is match day 1 of the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers out of Group H. Alongside Matteo Bonetti, I'm Andres Cordero as we take a look at Ivory Coast against Guinea. The Ivorians in orange and green, Guinea in red and yellow. There's already the Ivorian captain who was last to touch it for Guinea. Silla, Francois Kamano tries to collect. Ousmane Balde. Goes with a chance to counter the foul committed by Demba Kamara and a free kick for the hosts.
And watch out for Guinea if they do play a higher line. So committing a lot of men forward. Ivory Coast has so much pace on the counter with Seydou Doumbia, who's found his form back in the Swiss League where it all started for him back in 2008. Young boys in 2 seasons, he had 50 goals, scored 20 with Basel. You might remember him from CSKA Moscow, or maybe a little less so from Roma, where it didn't quite work out for him. Even at the national level, Andres hasn't scored much. Seydou Doumbia, a striker with all of his quality.
Down by City. CO collects. Choosing number 9. Just added center back. Here's a look at the live team. This opening match, Central African Republic against Rwanda. The other group stage match, last thing stand up in East to the team. Ivory Coast and Guinea. Format for this competition, as mentioned, 48 African nations vying for 16 places in the 2019 finals in Cameroon. Costa Guinea taking the center stage. This is Ouaga, the second largest city in Ivory Coast. Host of the national team as they set out to try and conquer the continent for the 3rd time in their history. 2015 winners, but failed to qualify last time out. Well, the fact failed to qualify out of the group stage last time out. It was Guinea who failed to qualify altogether.
That's a big task for Mark Wilmots, a coach who was a bit maligned even in his time in Belgium. The whole stick on him was that didn't really get Belgium playing to their potential with all that star-studded side. It's the same thing with Ivory Coast.
Look out, danger here is Demba Kamara trying to get on the end of this. Still loose in the area for Kamano. Pulled away from Kamano. Collected by Sila. Cross falls in the area, but not close enough to Francois Kamano for the Bordeaux man to cause any real danger. Cleared away by Bailly. Good pressure here from Guinea. Again, it's Eric Bailly who gets it away. Former Villarreal man, now with Jose Mourinho at Manchester United. He partners Wilfred Caro from Ado Den Haag in the center of that four-man back line for Ivory Coast. Whistled against Naby Keita.
Definitely a player to watch out for. Named one of the best midfielders in the Bundesliga. Fairy tale story with RB Leipzig, team that finished in top spots for a Champions League berth, and much to do with Naby Keita's play through the middle of the pitch. 8 goals, 7 assists for the 22-year-old. A breakout start. Interestingly enough, he went from one Red Bull side to another. RB Salzburg to RB Leipzig.
First foray into the attacking third for Ivory Coast, and it's short-lived.
On the other side as well, Ivory Coast with so much talent in the center of the park. Jean Seri, the Nice man. Kessie just joined Milan for big money from Atalanta. Those two good defensively, but also going forward.
That's a poor giveaway at the back, and a chance for Guinea to break the deadlock. Cut out by Bailly, as Demba Kamara could not pull the trigger.
There's the pace from Bailly. It's a really poor giveaway out wide. Not hearing the footsteps there. Dama Traore. And in the end, it's Bailly that has to clean up. Look how quickly the Manchester United defender comes across. That's one of his main attributes, that pace to make up so much ground.
First corner kick of the match, it's gone to Guinea. Seduba Suma to deliver. This for Slovan Bratislava. Suma driven to the back post, and it's punched away. Aibo.
And slapped away behind him. Pretty smart here from Gobu.
He'll do it again from the near side.
Interesting enough, he's in the 4th division of French football. He keeps dropping down a league every year.
Swinger this time, dead center of the 6-yard box, and it's easily picked up by Sylvain Bowo. Get him straight back to Guinea. 4 along the back for the Ivory Coast, in front of Bowo. It's Bailly and Cannon who are in the middle. Adama Traoré at left back, Serge Aurier at right. Good ball for spot. For Ivory Coast, but a few cheers from the crowd. It was Maxwell Cornet, the young Lyon man, just 20 years old. Exciting player, another in that conveyor belt of talent at Lyon.
And he's had a great season as well, Cornet. 2nd full season, he's been getting constant time with Lyon. Look at this quick, tricky movement. Wasn't supposed to get anywhere. Florentin Pogba ushered him out wide. Didn't seem like there was an angle, and then little nutmeg there, the pace to get around. A few options, decided to go for the short one, making its way into the box in the form of City.
Nabi Yatara who puts it back in play, flicked on by Kamara.
Has been a constant for Ivory Coast is the talent in those wide attacking areas. You look through the years, all the talented wingers that they've had. So much pace and technique. And Cornet, the latest one.
It's a poor attempt to clear by Bailly, and a chance developing for Kamara. Last gasp tackle from Wilfred Cannon who put out the fire. Seal. Showing a little too much of the ball to the defense, cleared away. It's a throw in for Ivory Coast. Seni Bangura who cleared it from local club Horoya. In fact, most of the players who are on this Guinea side who are not playing in European football are playing for Horoya in Guinea. Foul whistled against Guinea. It's a free kick once more for Ivory Coast. Adama Traoré. Oh, back to Cannon. This is Bailly. Spode Kamara, who was the guilty party, whistled for the foul. Man who scored against the Ivory Coast. The last time these two sides met was in that 2016 African Nations Championship, which, unlike the AFCON, only includes players playing in the domestic leagues of the respective national teams. Ivory Coast coming away 2-1 winners from that 2016 African Nations Championship against Guinea and Rwanda. They faced off in the 3rd place match. The Ivorians winning it 2-1. Catapulted into the area, but straight into the arms of Nabi Yatada, who controls on the bounce. Not a bad delivery from Jean-Michel Seri. It's garnered plenty of interest from top European clubs, including Barcelona. Seri, part of that revolution in Nice.
Barely any top flight experience for City. He really broke out along with the rest of the Nice squad under Lucien Favre.
Diallo. Dispossessed as the ball given away to Lamont. Poor ball. It's cleared away from Kessie's path.
Kessie just needed that ball played in front of him. Instead, he has to put the handbrakes on and allows Guinea time to get back and stop the counterattack dead in its tracks.
Scramble in midfield as Serge Aurier is in the mix. Foul whistled in Ivory Coast's favor, though. It wasn't Serge Aurier who was fouled. Instead, it was Giovanni Sio who was tripped up, and it was Balde who committed the foul. Push into the back of Giovanni Sio from Ousmane Balde. Ten minutes gone. And Bouake. Another free kick from a long way out for Ivory Coast. But this time it's Maxwell Cornet to deliver. Floated into the 18. Seydou Doumbia, the intended target, following up and blasted over Serge Aurier.
That popped up to him. It required a lot of technique from Aurier, not really known as a goal scorer. Can do a lot of damage, Ivory Coast, on these set pieces. So much height going forward to attack the ball in the air, and then it drops for Aurier, but even one that number 9 would have had trouble with. You see Pogba there trying to make himself as big as possible.
Collected by Cano. Does defer to Bailly to play the ball out of the back, who in turn leans on Serge Aurier. It's deflected on its way through, picked up by Balde, and quickly floated forward for the run of Camano. Options inside of the area for Francois Camano. Low cross is dummied through. Diallo's effort, a weak one, doesn't quite test Gobon. Sila. Dangerous cross into the heart of the area. It's dealt with by Canon. Still have some work to do here, Ivory Coast. And foul is going to be whistled against Demba Kamara, I believe. It was Naby Keita, the guilty party. Well, Naby Keita, unless the indication came very late, it was Demba Kamara who appeared to lift that leg in dangerous play. Maybe a foul earlier by Naby Keita. Carnona, poor clearance, gives the ball straight back to Guinea. They're playing with fire, the Ivorians.
So many poor giveaways have been quite shocking in possession in their own half. Just begging to get scored on.
But here they come with Seri. That's Giovanni Sio on the near side. It's Sio. Options in the area, tried to cross it in. It was deflected by Isiaga Sila. And back the other way for Naby Keita. Nicknamed Deco. Naby Keita. Another poor giveaway. This one straight to Keita. Trying to thread the needle was Suma.
Well, there it's Bailly. He's only here physically, but mentally hasn't quite arrived yet.
There's Giovanni Sio arriving on the near side. Hits the brakes. It's a clever chip into the area. It's Seri squared in. It's Doumbia with his back to goal. It's Seydou Doumbia with the opener. 14 minutes in. Ivory Coast 1, Guinea 0. 6th international goal for Seydou Doumbia. It might have been the first ball he's touched.
It's the movement as well inside the box from Doumbia. Doesn't force anything, playing with his back to goal, shows strength, and then that little turn and the acceleration to create the space. Have to applaud the work out wide as well. That first ball sent in, Giovanni Sio setting it up, and then Doumbia in a central position. He's got the defender all over him, but that little touch, it's on his left foot. Usually right-footed Doumbia. Almost a blind shot, knew exactly where the goal was and tucks into the top corner. There's no goalkeeper in world football who would have gotten a touch onto this. It's clinical work from Seydou Doumbia.
Well, it's his first goal for the national team since October of 2015, when he scored in a friendly against Morocco. Gave Ivory Coast a 1-0 win against the Moroccans, and he's put them out in front against Guinea. Quarter of an hour in, Ivory Coast 1, Guinea 0. And here come the visiting side, given away straight to Cannon. Collected by Adama Traore. Aurier on the near side.
Expect Guinea to continue this pressure. It's really led to plenty of turnovers, just haven't been able to capitalize on them. About 4 or 5 times now, Ivory Coast just giving the ball right to a Ghanaian player in their own defensive half.
Florence on Pogba. Diallo. Back to it a bit short, given away to Frank Kessie. Doumbia won't reach it. Picked up by Pogba. It's a good ball wide to find Demba Kamara on the near side. Combines with Kamano. Trying to get around his marker. It falls for Kamara. Kamano. Back for Kamara from the edge of the area, but a crowded 18-yard box. And somehow Demba Kamara back in possession. But that tackle from Frank Kessie was then bundled over inside of the area. Free kick for Ivory Coast.
Kessie not having the tricks there, just pokes that ball free. Strong box-to-box midfielder. Oh, no foul either. Just won it back cleanly.
Goes to ground, perhaps a little easy, but it was somewhat naive, the challenge from Demba Kamara. Ball gets it away. Over the head of Doumbia, who appears to have taken a shot to the midsection. Scooped forward by Seri. It's his cornet. Catapulted into the area, settled by Giovanni Sio. Sio against Sia. Wonderful triangulation from Ivory Coast. It's cleared by Pogba. Sio. Starting to find their passes now in the final third. Ivory Coast. It will be a goal kick for Naby Yatara. The ball had crossed the line before Alseni Bangura made contact.
Best ball possession for Ivory Coast, really seeming to find their confidence finally with the amount of talent on the pitch. Figure that they can start playing that sort of football, one touch, just triangles all over the pitch. And definitely aesthetically pleasing to watch.
Kamara. Bangura who gets it forward.
Seri's playing in a more advanced role to where he normally plays with Nice. It's also 4-2-3-1 with Seri as that attacking midfielder just behind Doumbia. Just have that goal scoring instinct in him.
Kessie back to collect. Wilfred Cannon.
On the other hand, Kessie playing a bit deeper where he normally lines up for his side Atalanta last season.
Well, they do have two defensive midfielders. Ivory Coast, that's a good ball forward for Cornet. Has Sio alongside, it's Cornet. And straight to Naby Yatara. A promising attack from Ivory Coast, but it comes to nothing. Serge Aurier, who's whistled for the foul, nearly given away by Isiaga Sila, but you see why.
Very tenacious play there from the PSG right back, never quitting on the ball when maybe some of his teammates would have. Always brilliant atmospheres in Africa. It's the continent where home field advantage gives a team the highest percentage of winning anywhere in the world. That's currently stacked against Guinea.
Spumman. Seri. Well, the idea was clever, the execution not so much. Doesn't quite reach Seydou Doumbia. Here's Naby Keita. Sio as well to regain control for Ivory Coast and made to pay the prices. A hard landing for Giovanni Sio. Over the top of Naby Keita. Mentioned the 2016 African Nations Championship meeting between these two, but last time the full squads met, there's Matthias Pogba on the bench for Guinea. Last time they met with the full squads was in the 2015 AFCON in Morocco. That was a 1-1 draw in the Group D opener in Malabo with goals by Mohamed Yatara and none other than Seydou Doumbia. Scored the equalizer for Ivory Coast. Both teams would advance to the knockout stages, where Guinea were promptly knocked out by Ghana in the quarterfinals. Ivory Coast would eliminate Algeria and DR Congo to reach the final against Ghana. And they won that final 9-8 on penalties. They claimed their second Africa Cup of Nations trophy. However, failed to get out of the group stage in 2017, and they were trying to defend their title. Balde, sends it wide, finds Alseni. Bangura. Fode Kamara. It's well over the top of Francois Kamano. Story of missed opportunities for Guinea. Some uncharacteristic giveaways from Ivory Coast at the back, but Guinea not able to turn that into any real threat. Bol's goal.
And we've seen Ivory Coast now slowly grow into this match. It's always been the sort of reputation the last few years with Ivory Coast, so much talent, but never really able to put it together and play up to their potential. It's a big task ahead for Mark Wilmots, who faced that criticism with Belgium. Had one of the best teams in the world on paper, but so far hasn't been able to give them the success that perhaps a few people think they should have already had.
Long throw down the line by Aurier. It's Sio who is held up. Florentin Pogba, the guilty party, and he'll get a talking to from the referee, De Carvalho.
A real intimidating presence at the back, isn't he? Florentin Pogba is don't lose too many of those aerial battles. That's a tactical foul as well. Didn't want the player to turn and perhaps outpace him. One of the best defensive units is Saint-Étienne side, and Loic Perron forming that partnership.
He's one of 4 players that either trade in Ligue 1, though Sadio Diallo's Bastia have just been relegated to Ligue 1. The others being Kamano for Bordeaux and Sia for Toulouse. And he cleared it however he could, Isia Garcia. He's giving away a corner kick for the Ivorians. Seri to deliver. Outswinger toward the edge of the 6, swings and misses with Wilfred Cannon, and it's cleared away. Not a danger by Guinea. Took a stab at it with his left. He was closely marked by Demba Kamara, who did not react. Kamano quickly gets it forward. Kamano gets it back. All the way through Bamon. Long ball forward for Doumbia. Check that, it was Giovanni Sio who was out in front.
Good idea by Bamin. That long diagonal over the top. Wasn't too mishit in the end. Definitely had to force Nabi Atana out of his line. Basically pressing in waves. They're not going to be able to press in a full 90, especially in this warm, humid climate. You saw when they did press early on, the first 10 minutes, the trouble that it caused these Ivorian defenders, notably Eric Bailly, £30 million signing for Manchester United.
Headed back into midfield by Fode Kamara, collected by Aurier. Fancy feet from the PSG man who could not find Sio, but he was pulled back. So another free kick from deep in midfield for Ivory Coast. Naby Keita committed the foul. Adama Traoré. Doumbia. Excellent ball forward as Cornet fires straight at the goalkeeper once more. Second chance for Maxwell Cornet. He Yatara up to the task.
Great first touch here, Cornet. Also, Doumbia acting as the playmaker with that first touch from Cornet to just create the separation from Florentin Pogba is brilliant. And again, his momentum not allowing him to get much pace behind that ball. It's a slow roller, no real problem for Naby Yatara. Nice combination again, Doumbia and Cornet. Real big talent, isn't he? Cornet. First starting from those wide positions, high for goal as well. And getting some great experience at Lyon, one of the more talented sides in Ligue 1.
3 of Ivorian's 4 shots have been on target, but 2 of those efforts from Maxwell Cornet were quite soft directly at Naby Yatara. However, Seydou Doumbia's strike did open the scoring after 14 minutes. Seni Bangura who puts it back in play. Sadio Diallo's covering quite a lot of ground. He started this match on the near side. He's moved more central and popped up on the right-hand side just now. Here's Kessie. Atalanta's Frank Kessie. Quite the unbelievable start to his Serie A career. Scoring early goals for the Bergamo side. To thread the needle for Doumbia. Cleaned up by Fode Camara.
In Italy, he's described as a Gattuso with better feet.
That's accurate, actually. And much like Gattuso, he's about to wear the red and black stripes of Milan.
2-year loan, then permanent, or rather forced to buy.
It's €8 million for the loan, and then another 20 for the purchase at the end of those 2 seasons. That's Aurier with a cross into the edge of the 6, intended for Doumbia. Naby Keita. Take a deflection off of an Ivorian. Here's Bailly. Oh, under pressure from Demba Kamara. It's a brilliant ball from the goalkeeper. Oh, switch from Kessie. Doesn't quite reach Giovanni Sio. It is a throw in for Ivory Coast from the near side. Last touch by Isiaga Sila. Approaching the half-hour mark. Ivory Coast 1, Guinea 0. It's a bright start for Guinea, but it's all Ivory Coast at the moment. Throw in for Côte d'Ivoire. Physical play, but no foul in the view of De Carvalho. Scoop forward for Naby Keita, gets a second chance to deliver and looks to pick out Demba Kamara. Coming across is Wilfried Cannon, who did keep it in play. Here's Naby Keita. Suma. Diallo. Ole. Not in the end by Beaumont. Pogba. All of the Guinea field players in opposition territory. All delivered forward for Diallo, and Diallo is fouled by Beaumont.
Haven't really been able to keep the ball on the ground, Guinea. It's mostly been long balls, just bypassing the midfield altogether. Has to do as well with that steal in the spine of this Ivory Coast side. The 2 defenders and the holding midfielders in front. There's so much strength and athleticism. Both Bamin and Kessie putting in so much mileage in this game.
Diallo delivered chip toward the center of the 18. Out the other side is Kessie. Strong from Frank Kessie, riding the initial challenge, but then the giveaway. Here's Balde. Colombia's goal after 14 minutes, still the difference. Here's Bowman. Locked is good pressure here from Guinea. Controlled by Côte. Muscled off by Sila. Nearly crossed into the middle for Kamara. Somebody gets stuck under his feet there then, but Kamara. Diallo. And the weave his way through. It's Naby Keita from the edge of the area. Keita deflected and saved, but the follow-up is in the back of the net. It's 1-1. Sadio Diallo has leveled the score for Guinea.
Well, for Bohu, the last place he wanted to parry that ball was in front of it. And that's what gives the second opportunity. Normally goalkeepers taught to try to parry it wide anywhere away from the danger zone, but watch that, how the goalkeeper is bobbling this one. Instead of parrying it wide, he just hops it right in front of him, and it's almost a gift. That's poor goalkeeping. Although in fairness to him, it did take a deflection, so goalkeeper there just had to dive at the last second, but still expect a bit better on that parry from him.
And that is the 8th international goal for Sadio Diallo. Scored just 4 goals in 20 starts for Bastia this season. As the French club finished in the bottom 3. Diallo getting it done for Guinea to level the score in Ivory Coast. Game on. Here's Bailly. Switches play for Cannon. Kessie out of the back. Sila on alert. He gives CO just that bit of space to invite the pass and then quickly closes down to eliminate the danger. He's all over the place. Isiaga Sila has to touch it now on the throw-in for Ivory Coast. Bama. The pressure from Naby Keita, had his pocket picked by Naby Keita. Kamano. Running support for Kamano, but Baman has poked it away. Quickly blasted forward for the run of Seydou Doumbia. It's Doumbia against 3, and it's Alseni Bangura who comes away in possession. Throw-in for Guinea. Doumbia with his back to goal leaves it for Adama Traore. Seri. I mentioned the links to Barcelona earlier. It was the Catalan sports dailies that had said that the first option in midfield for Barcelona was to try and lure Marco Verratti, Serge Aurier's PSG teammate, to the Camp Nou. But if that failed, the backup option was Jean-Michel Seri.
And it makes sense. Player with good feet, give you a bit of everything in the midfield, loves getting forward.
Here's Cornier, working hard to try and win back possession. Cornier is tripped up from behind, and it's a yellow card for Ousmane Balde.
So far, Cornet's been able to do whatever he wants in possession. Strong, even can hold up the ball with his back to goal, and then the pace to get away from his marker. Giving all sorts of fits to whoever's defending him out wide there. Ball glued to his feet, and just a poor challenge. It's late.
So Balde, the first player to be yellow carded today. From Berea in Bulgaria, the 27-year-old. 10 minutes to play in the opening half. Free kick for Ivory Coast. They've been pegged back level after taking the lead in the 14th via Doumbia. Sadio Diallo's close-range strike leveled the score in the 31st. Opening match of this Group H of Africa Cup of Nations qualifying. Floated in by Siri to the back post. Won't land in the field of play.
Another poor delivery from a set piece, well overhit. It's been the case for Ivory Coast several times. All the big men forward from the back.
Started by Yatara. Nicely collected in the middle. Here's Kamara. Excellent for Kamara on the near side. Past Aurier, but a good recovery from the PSG man, Serge Aurier. And a corner kick for Guinea.
There's a little spell of possession there. Quick one-touch passing. And Serge Aurier is another one that makes up ground so quickly.
Second corner for Guinea. Flighted in by Diallo. It's a very strong corner that doesn't land in the area. And it's out on the other side for a throw-in. Adama Traore over to put it back in play. You can feel for the goalkeeper a little on the equalizing goal. It was Naby Keita's shot that was deflected on its way through. Didn't really get a chance to parry it so much as it struck his arm and stayed bouncing inside of the 6. Credit to Sadio Diallo, who was alert enough to pounce quickly and level it for Guinea. It's a hard-working linesman there. Siaga Silo's been kept busy on the left-hand side of Guinea's defense. Cornet was trying to collect. He was whistled for the foul. Quite a few players on this Ivory Coast team who don't have a ton of international experience. Jean-Philippe Beaumont only making his second appearance for the Ivorians. Same for Maxwell Cornet, getting his second cap. And for Adama Traore over at the left back position, it's his 10th international appearance. See that dangerous ball in for Kamara. Well dealt with by the Ivory Coast defense. And it's another throw in here for Sila. Looping cross toward the back post. And Bailly who gets it away. Strong pressure here from Guinea. Does fall for Kamano, but the offside flag is up against Demba Kamara.
And just in case it wasn't offside, look how quickly Eric Bailly slides across. He's had 2 great sliding challenges so far, both in his own box.
Wake up, Kamara. That's Seydou Bassouma, who is slow to get up for Guinea. He was the man who attacked that corner kick at the back post. Here's to taking a shot to the back of the neck.
Carbon copy of Paul, both of them, aren't they?
All three. All 3 Pogba brothers are basically the same person.
All in different positions, scattered around the pitch. And all very imposing figures as well. 6'4", 6'5".
Family just needed to have 8 more sons. They could have had an all Pogba 11.
Now imagine the odds of that. 3 kids, all professional footballers, and pretty good leagues, I hear. Especially that Paul.
Never heard of him. There's the equalizing goal. It's deflected off of a hand as well. It just unsettled Bowo in goal.
And that's the point. The fact that it did take the deflection. And didn't really give Gobo any time to even even react or think where he was going to parry that ball. Just needed to make sure to get any sort of touch whatsoever. Does well to get down very quickly.
Traore just heard the footsteps in time. Vamont. Bailly. Cano. Trying to draw Guinea out of their defensive posture. Ivory Coast stick around. The fourth halftime coming up in just about 4 minutes time. Take a look back at the very best from this opening half, including both goals. Here's Adama Traore. Sprayed wide. It's a heavy ball for Doumbia, who chases it down. Closed down by Bangura. Last touched by Elseni Bangura. Oh, it went off of Seydou Doumbia. At one time he was the solution at center forward for Roma. They found a pretty good one this year in Edin Dzeko. Top scorer of the Italian top flight.
After one season, Roma decided that Seydou Doumbia just wasn't for them. A bit unfair as well. He came after the Africa Cup of Nations. He was tired, so his pace was pretty much gone. Didn't have much in his legs, and perhaps unfairly judged and quickly discarded. But he's always been a clinical goal scorer in the Russian league, and especially in the Swiss league with Basel now. But the young boys is where he made his name and drew the eye of the scouts of CSKA Moscow.
Always finds creative ways to get rid of it. Sila. Last touch by Diallo, a throw in for Ivory Coast. Well, we expected for the Ivorians to score. It's been quite a while since Guinea have kept a clean sheet. Have to go back to September of 2016 against Zimbabwe. They've shown some fight to pull themselves back level via Sadio Diallo. And now looking for more, Guinea. Poked forward, the flag is up against Demba Kamara, and this was very close. Kamara, who in live time looked to be onside, will give the referee's assistant a benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, lovely run though. Just playing off the shoulder of the defense. Look right here, seemed to be well onside. It was Eric Bailly keeping him on. I'd like to take another look at that, but even in lifetime seemed onside. Either way, the ball went out, but seem anywhere near being off.
Diallo, between a trio of Ivorians, he's fouled. Free kick for Guinea. He was fouled by Frank Kessie. By the way, that move to Milan will be made official later this month. It's basically a done deal, but for contract purposes, it's at the end of June 30th, that it becomes official. The start of a 2-year loan for Frank Kessie. Part of a revolution in San Siro for Milan, who seem very active in the transfer market.
Already taking all the pictures with the Rossoneri kit.
It's a nice one this year. It's a very clean throwback. Naby Keita. Heavy pass from Balde intended for Francois Camano. Let's clear up any doubt as we take another look at that offside decision. It's hard to tell from this angle. The way that we're looking at it, he may just be off.
Yeah, very slightly. Perhaps just not the best angle. Really close one from the linesman, but maybe that right leg was just cheating offside. Obviously, that's a playable part of the body.
Oh, we're about to breach first half regulation. 2 minutes added on will play until at least the end of the 47th. For a moment there, it looked as it said 62 minutes on the digital board. Lively first half, good chances on either end. Kamara. Seal putting in the defensive work as well. Maybe a little too much of this from Ivory Coast. There's a blind ball forward looking for either Côte or
right.
Seydou Doumbia, but it's something they've gone to perhaps too many times. Crosses into the area looking for Demba Kamara, and a goal kick for Bowo.
Maybe a bit head scratching given how well Ivory Coast have shown their ability to play that one-touch football when they've sent that defensive line higher up the pitch and allowed more bodies to swarm Seydou Doumbia and Côte. Right now, Kessie playing very deep. He's the deepest one right alongside Bamount.
Over the head of REA, but he's able to collect. Second minute of the 2 added on. Bowo could not keep it in play, and that's a bit of play acting on the near side. Mario Diallo, no, it's Isiaga Sila. Seydou Doumbia is having none of it. Oh, he did reach out with that elbow.
Yep.
That's not just play acting. Doumbia knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh, that is naughty
and he
right
brings
there.
it up into the arm of Isiaga Sila. That should be a straight red.
Absolutely. Intention was there, knew exactly what he was doing. Even if you don't catch him cleanly, it doesn't matter. It's the intention of just cocking back that right elbow. I think it was the forearm that made contact, thankfully, for Isiaga Sila.
Oh, not spotted by De Carvalho. Or was it? He's got the yellow card in hand. Has he booked Florentin Pogba? We'll get the confirmation for you. We're past the minimum 2 minutes that were added on. Long throw by the Guinea captain. Perhaps the last chance for Guinea. Is Kamara. Now Kamano has Diallo in support. Trying to take the scenic route around REA, and that will do it for the opening half. Ivory Coast 1, Guinea 1. Seydou Doumbia's opening goal in the 14th minute, leveled by Sadio Diallo in the 31st.
Even match in the end. Ivory Coast had a few spurts in the first 15 minutes or so, but then it was Guinea really picking up the scraps and playing a bit better.
Halfway through the opening match in Group H, it's level between Côte d'Ivoire and Guinea.
That's perfect. Bees! Bees! Guys! Come on! Go, go, go!
The all-new Volkswagen Atlas with easy access third row. Life's as big as you make it.
Suddenly he has so much more energy. I can't believe it. It's definitely a turn on. It's like the guy I knew 10 years ago suddenly showed up again.
He has passion and drive again. It's incredibly sexy.
How are men over 40 enjoying more passion, energy, and vitality than ever with a powerful man-boosting innovation called Nugenix? Powered by Testofen, a key ingredient shown to help naturally increase a man's free testosterone levels. Nugenix is the #1 men's vitality product at GNC. There's nothing else like it. Now you can get a complimentary bottle by texting FLAME to 321-321. Clinical results show men report significantly higher energy levels with Nugenix. More satisfaction with muscle and strength. More stamina.
He's trim, tight, really terrific.
Feel like the man you used to be with Nugenix. Complimentary bottles are not available in stores. To guarantee yours, text FLAME to 321-321 now. That's FLAME to 321-321.
I see stories in people's faces, in their hands, in their eyes. People tell me stories without saying one word, so I listen. Then I give it back. What are you chasing? Hennessy. Never stop, never settle.
Tomorrow, see me win. Better present. The race is on. Don't miss all the action. The most exciting sport on the planet.
All the action on Bein Sports.
With 4 rounds left, the battle will be amazing. The 2018 World Cup qualifiers, live and exclusive on Bein Sports. The Express Halftime Show is brought to you by Ford, the new 2017 Ford Fusion.
It is the Express Halftime brought to you by Ford as we take a look back at the very best from the opening 45. Ivory Coast won, Guinea won. Some really chances for the visiting side, but it was the Ivorians who broke through first. It took until the 14th minute. But take a look at this. Seal chipped into the area, squared back in by Siri, and it's Doumbia with no wasted movement. Turns and fires to the top corner.
That's such a great little touch there, and Alseni Bangure's momentum brings him a bit forward, allows Seydou Doumbia to put the brakes on. Quick little finish on his left foot, top corner, no chance for the goalkeeper. Brilliant build-up here. 2 passes. Ivory Coast playing their best football early on.
First international goal since 2015 for Doumbia, but 32nd minute, take a look as Naby Keita's shot is deflected. Diallo follows up, stayed on side and leveled the score.
The goalkeeper here has to deal with a ball that is deflected. He has to get down, but he doesn't parry it away to his right. Instead, he bobbles it right in front of him, and that gives Guinea that second opportunity, and Diallo cleans up as the goalkeeper had already gone to ground.
Scoreboard froze over after that. It's 1-1 at the break. The Express Halftime is brought to you by Ford. Stay with us. More to come.
This summer, we've got a job for you. To make summer. Now, we're not gonna lie, there's a lot of work to do. Late nights can be expected. Oh, and weekends too. A lot will be riding on your choices. There's a strict dress code. And some pretty hot conditions. But the perks? Well, there'll always be plenty of Coronas. So let's all get out there and get to work. Because this is how we make summer.
Stop! Living with hair loss, that is. Losing your hair is no fun, and no one wants to be bald, but there is hope.
Getting my hair back was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I'm happy with the way I look now.
I'm very excited about my hair.
I feel beautiful.
I love my hair.
Hair Club offers all proven hair loss solutions backed by our commitment to satisfaction guarantee. If you're not 100% satisfied with the solution you choose, Hair Club will apply the purchase price to another proven hair loss solution or transplant more hair at no charge.
That was the best thing I've ever done. It looks good on me.
Call in the next 5 minutes to get your free brochure at no obligation. It will tell you everything you need to know about your hair loss problem, and it's free if you call now.
I am more pleased than what I had even imagined.
I at least look, I would say, 5 years younger.
I'm 52, and I look better now than I did when I was in my 40s.
I feel great.
And that's not all. The first 100 people who call will also receive $250 off any hair loss solution from Hair Club. Call now.
The end of civilization is upon us. Hold your loved ones close.
It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Mine tonight. Tomorrow. It's now or never.
Today, the NASL match of the week is on Bein Sports. Join us and enjoy our soccer. Puerto Rico FC versus San Francisco Delta. on beIN Sports. There's nothing more powerful than a legitimate cheer of a goal. It's the almighty prayer of any faith, the common ground for every fan. Fortunately, what's a team brags about a new trophy? Some are planning how to step up. You see, as a cycle ends, a new one always begins. The best football in the world will be back. Exclusively on beIN Sports.
Welcome back to the Express Halftime Report, brought to you by Ford. Go further. Seydou Keita, or rather Seydou Doumbia, opened the scoring after a quarter of an hour, only to be pegged back level by Sadio Diallo of Guinea. Stick around, because immediately following the conclusion of this, we've got Senegal against Equatorial Guinea as Africa Cup of Nations qualifying continues toward Cameroon 2019. And immediately after that, it's the extra at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. on the Pacific, as they take a look back at all the day's action across the international friendlies, the Toulon final, the Under-20 World Cup, and more. Second half about to get underway. Stay with us.
Nobody does underwater stunts, Sylvia. Except me, of course. This is my stop. Adios!
If you're a stuntman, you cheat death. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
You check in frequently to see how the markets are doing. But what you really need to know is how you're doing. Where do you go for that? Right here, personalcapital.com. Join for free and link your accounts. You'll get your own personal financial dashboard and see all your accounts in one place. Income, spending, how your investments are doing, even your net worth, all in real time. You'll get all these free tools, including a retirement planner that takes the guesswork out of retirement. Join for free at personalcapital.com.
Today, the Africa Cup of Nations 2019 is on beIN Sports. Senegal will fight to stop the fury of Equatorial Guinea. Senegal versus Equatorial Guinea on beIN Sports. Competitive and entertaining short course off-road race. The most cutting-edge series nationwide. And the most exciting outdoor experience. Torque, the off-road championship, is here on beIN Sports.
Welcome back to the Express Halftime. There's a statistical representation of that opening half. Possession split basically down the middle. The one yellow card to Ousmane Balde in the midfield of Guinea. But the big disparity, shots on target, as Ivory Coast have tested Naby Yatara. Though worth mentioning, a lot of those shots, especially the two by Maxwell Cornet, have been central and easy saves for Naby Yatara. Nothing easy about that attempted save by Boho. That was the equalizing goal for Guinea. It's level. Stay with us.
The Express Halftime Show was brought to you by Ford, the new 2017 Ford Fusion.
Ignition sequence start. Roger, copy. Engines, go.
Todos manejamos, pero algunos sentimos que estamos volando.
Are you stuck with a low credit score? A credit report and score that's causing you to be denied credit or pay higher interest rates than others for the same things? Then do what Terrence did and call the experts at creditrepair.com for your free credit evaluation and game plan to help restore your credit.
I started thinking about buying a new house, and my score wasn't where I needed it to be. I called and spoke with one of the representatives, and we just had a good conversation, and I liked what he was saying.
Just one call for his free credit evaluation was all it took to start back on the track to repairing his credit.
I'm seeing the deletions and I'm getting the reports, so I know something's being done. It does make a difference to me.
At creditrepair.com, dreams do happen.
Thanks to creditrepair.com, I will be able to have a better credit score and get that house.
Don't let a low credit score hold you back another day. Do what Terrence did and make the call for your free credit evaluation and game plan to help get back on the track to great credit. Call 1-800-398-9674.
Welcome back. It was Seydou Doumbia's opening goal just before the quarter of an hour mark that gave Ivory Coast the lead before Sadio Diallo pounced on a loose ball to level it in the 31st. Teams out ready for the start of the second half. Ivory Coast in a battle against Guinea. These the top-ranked sides of the four in Group H. Central African Republic and Rwanda facing off as well in the other Group H match. But keep in mind, only 3 runners-up will advance to the finals in Cameroon. And so winning the group, a huge deal. And if it ends this way for Guinea, a good result on the road against the Ivorians. The ball rolls on the second half. It's Ivory Coast 1, Guinea 1. The Ivorians kicking things off, moving from right to left on your screen. Alongside Matteo Bonetti, I'm Andres Cordero. It is match day 1 in Group H of AFCON qualifying. Seydou Doumbia and Sadio Diallo with the goals for Ivory Coast and Guinea respectively. No changes from either manager for the start of the second half. Chasing that down is Naby Keita. Working against Beaumont. All pulled into stride, but well defended by Sergio Aurier. Still has some defending to do. He's pulled back by Francois Kamano. And so a free kick for Ivory Coast.
Seen that from Keita. He's the most comfortable in possession out of these Ghanaian midfielders. The patience just to wait for that run to open up. And the perfect through ball to just lead his teammate in. Has made massive strides himself along with Red Bull Leipzig in the Bundesliga.
Tara. Sila. Beaumont takes a bump in the back but absorbs the contact well. That's fancy stuff from Diallo in midfield. Trying to get it back from Naby Keita. It's won back by the Ivorians. Doumbia. A soft layup. It's quickly won back. Via Kamano. Stepping forward. He's covering a lot of ground. Jean-Philippe Beaumont. This is football in the Bundesliga for Mainz. Just outside of Hamburg. It was Beaumont who was tripped up by a very busy Isiaga Sila. Clears, but not deep enough. Kamano. Keita runs into a brick wall of Beaumont. No foul is Ivory Coast now looking to turn defense into attack. Running it down. Adama Traore. Moving forward for Kessie as he tried to chip the ball past Alseni Bangura. Snap forward from Kamano, much more involved in the early stages of this second half. more central area. Limited to the wide areas in the opening 45. Patience from Kamano. This is Kamara. Checked into space, looking for the number 18, Idubasuma. Got it down by Doumbia, who absorbed the contact as well. Put into space for Doumbia. Turns on the afterburners. Doumbia can't get them.
So close. Great idea from Cornet. Both Cornet and Doumbia have done so well linking up with one another. It's often the same case. Cornet out wide and Doumbia making the run through the middle. You saw the pace of the Basel striker there in that final 10-yard sprint.
Off the head of Diallo. And those aerial duels as well now. Guinea in midfield. Zuma applying the pressure after a giveaway. Aurier. Oh, under pressure, gets it away to Serge Aurier. Ground as he covered the Siagasila. Looking against Giovanni Sio on that far side. On the same page, this time the ball given away to Guinea. Heavy touch from Fode Kamara. Well to win it back after really giving it away. Floating in for Suma. Stepped forward to clear the danger. And feels very much in limbo at the moment. Neither side really in control. We are experiencing some technical difficulties from side. We'll get that squared away for you as quickly as possible. Ivory Coast 1, Guinea 1. Goals by Seydou Doumbia in the 14th and Sadio Diallo in the 31st. So far, neither goalkeeper really called into action in this second stanza, but still early. 5 minutes in. Diallo. Line for Bangura. Done by Diallo. Keita, heavy touch forward as he was under pressure from Beaumont. Sila.
Return ball was on for Sila. Continued the run. And you just mentioned it, the amount of work rate that we've seen from him all over the pitch, end to end.
Fode Kamara, that's a good switch to find Kamara. 6 goals in 30 games for Bordeaux this season in Ligue 1. Francois Kamara working against Serge Aurier. Ligue 1 battle on that far side. Clever touch forward for Doumbia, who could not quite control, and that was a dangerous foul as Ousmane Balde had a couple of studs of Doumbia.
And so far, the man on form in the second half seems to be Kamano. When he's in possession, loads of confidence. It's very tricky, those quick feet. It's an inviting ball that he just whipped into the box.
Kamano and Seydou Suma. Suma, who scored, by the way, in the 2-1 loss to Algeria, warming up for this contest. Turned out to be a consolation goal. Followed that up with a 5-0 defeat against the Netherlands. As Mark Wilmot's men actually was got the two teams mixed up just there. It was Ivory Coast who dropped the game 5-0, while Guinea lost 2-1. Pulled toward by Pogba. It was beyond the reach of Giovanni Sio. Toronto, who's slow to get up. Seven times these sides have met since 2007, and the Ivory Coast have won 5 of those with 2 draws. Guinea can steal all 3 points here. It'll be a brilliant start to their Group H campaign. Action up off the bench for Mark Wilmot. It's Jeremy Boga of Spanish club Granada, who is limbering up. So the flag is up against Doumbia.
Always hanging on that last defender, Doumbia. There just couldn't get onside and off the ball to him. Didn't really lead him into space, but got him back in front of the defender. See the separation, though, between Doumbia and those 3 behind him. There's a few players that perhaps maybe slightly out of position in the midfield for Mark Wilmot's men. Then Kessie playing a lot deeper than does for club side. Does have plenty to offer going forward, Kessie as well, but just hasn't been able to get out of his own defensive half.
Naby Keita lead into the middle for Suma. Scrambling back, Elseni Bangura. If anything, Kessie's not going to be a playmaker. You play as a traditional number 10, but he can be a reference point a little further up the pitch, as he has been for Atalanta sometimes. Delivered into the middle by Frank Kessie. Almost as if he's not allowed to cross the halfway line. Sio. It's it back. Sio creating the space for Rama. Picked up by Diallo. Passed with responsibilities both in recovery and in creating. Diallo. Seni Bangura. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Suma. Naby Keita, good through ball into the area, and Kamara has his pocket picked. It's a direct approach that we've grown accustomed to in African football. At times bypassing the midfield to send those 50-50 balls forward. Well done by Bailly to deal with the danger from above. Suma trying to settle. Suma does settle. Pushed from behind by Frank Kessie, and a free kick coming up for Guinea.
Frank Kessie thought he had won that challenge and then just gets away from it. See the relentless defensive work, but that time clearly goes through the back of the legs, nowhere near the ball.
You were right to point out right at the start of this broadcast here regarding Frank Kessie. It's the athleticism and the physicality that he gets heralded for it most, but he's a terrific footballer, Frank Kessie. Ball on the wall for Sylvain Bowo. It's Diallo trying to put it on target. It falls inside of the area, push into the back of Suma. And De Carvalho claps his hands together.
Clear push off there. The wall did its job, but the deflection actually were both players onside, but there's a little push off.
And it was Bailly.
From Bailly, who didn't have the best half either, giving the ball away in possession. That looked like a clear penalty. You saw both forearms extending forward. Don't know if the referee was in a good position to spot it or the linesman, but
Sidouba Suma certainly hesitated to shoot as he had an opportunity to get his right foot onto it, but that doesn't excuse the fact that Bailly somewhat unabashedly pushed him in the back, just not spotted by the referee or his assistant. Diallo. Whistled as Naby Keita is taken down. Naby Keita still not happy about the push on the Suma.
Rightfully so. Because he's been manhandled by some of these Ivorian defenders.
What a nice tackle by Seri. Take it away from Diallo. Kessie. Just gets away from him. Now Seni Bangura to collect, but only for a moment. Seri won it back. Sio leaves it wide. Bama. Adama Traore, a pocket of space for Traore. It's a poor effort, but it's fallen to the edge of the area for Seri. Follow-up effort from Sio, and that's dealt with by Isiagasia.
Oh, that earlier shot from Traore, he had Kessie wide open, onside, making the run into the box, just not spotted. Right here, look at Kessie's position, just begging for that through ball to be played forward towards him.
They were slow to get up. Ivory Coast play on regardless, and it's Cornet at the back post, just wide.
What a ball.
That would have been a moment of controversy as a Guinea player was down. The referee did not bring a stop to the action, so Ivory Coast could continue to play.
Guinea felt hard done by, but what a cross that was to just loop it over the two defenders right in the way of Cornet. It's a perfect delivery into him. It's a narrow angle for him to just try to side foot it into that small little window at the near post.
Mark Wilmot's shirt becomes progressively more disheveled as the match goes on. Approaching the hour mark, Ivory Coast 1, Guinea 1. Here's Kessie. Head forward from the run of Jean-Michel Seri. Sprayed back by Fode Kamara, but it will be a corner kick for the Elephants of Ivory Coast. In by Seri. Really poor corner kicks taken by both sides today.
Set pieces really leaving a lot to be desired. Nowhere near the crowd of players. Expect so much more from both these sides. Cornet has been one of the bright spots though for Ivory Coast. It's been one with perhaps the most guile on the ball and confidence to blow by the defender. A few shots on goal.
Come Guinea with Naby Keita. Reference point in the middle of the attack. Still Keita. Dispossessed by Beaumont. Sio. The battle for possession. Beaumont who wins it back. Given away to Kamano. Short pitch for Guinea to counter. And a poor touch by Demba Kamara with his back to goal. Flicked on by Doumbia. Flicked back to Doumbia. It's Doumbia in this space. It's Suma who's out in front, trying to find the opening. Cornet. It's Doumbia, and he's got a double. The flag stayed down. It's 2 for Seydou Doumbia, 2 for Ivory Coast. His 6th and 7th international goals, and it's the Ivorians 2, Guinea 1.
And it was all started by Seydou Doumbia. That quick pass out wide to his right to continue and start that counterattack, running right alongside. 2-on-1 in the end, and here he was wide open. That was a selfish choice to go for goal, but it's another case of the goalkeeper pairing it right to the opposition. Saw from both Naby Yatada and Gubu, and there Yatada should have done a lot better.
Interesting to see if we can get that side angle once more. Seni Bangura quickly throws his hand up, appealing to the referee's assistant for offside. No question, of course, a moot point because the goal stands. Was Seydou Doumbia out in front of that last defender, and the shot was taken by Maxwell Cornet. It won't matter. It's 2-1 Ivory Coast. With just about a half hour left to play. Guinea forced to regroup. There's Alseni Bangura. Done nicely for Diallo. Playing for memory, finds Suma. Disciplined back four of Ivory Coast now trying to hold on to this lead. It's flicked into the middle. And where Serge Aurier is scrambling back to put pressure on Naby Keita.
Not a bad ball flighted in. Finally a good cross into that muck of players at the far post. The header, he's drifting away from goal. It's difficult to put that one on target and get power behind it. Your body taking away from goal.
Controlled by Naby Keita. There's two men to beat, including Beaumont. Sprayed wide for Isiaga Sila, the left back involved in the attack. Controlled initially by Beaumont. But he does collect in the end. To has misjudged the flight of the ball, so he slaps it down with his left. But fortunate for him, there were no Guinea players around the bounce. Here's Pogba. And the Florentin variety. Scooped forward for Kamano. Neat touch from Francois Kamano. And it's by Ida Beat. Swung in looking for Kamara, coming away, punching it. Bowo. Assisting his Guinea. Down, but giving straight back to Naby Keita. In traffic, Keita gets away from three. Keita taken down at the edge of the area. Play allowed to continue. It's an equalizer for Kamano. Chaos on the edge of the area. Kamano comes away with the leveling goal. Ivory Coast 2, Guinea 2.
He's deserved it, Kamano, but Naby Keita, goal created by him. The quickness on that turn, Andres, when he receives the ball, gets taken down as well. Penalty appeals. Look at how quickly Naby Keita turned and darted into the box as he received the ball. Right there. That is terrific, and seemed like he was just making his way into the box when the foul occurred, or was it just on the edge? Either way, the ball squirts forward. The referee allows play to play on. And terrific finish from Kamano. The little scoop as he sees the goalkeeper, Mohu, going down to ground. Takes a look of a passing option either. That's why he was forced into that, taking that shot from just outside the edge of the box there.
Chested down by Adama Traore. Beaumont. Patience by Beaumont. He waits for things to open up. This is Kessie. So many men forward for Ivory Coast. Beaumont. This is blocked by Isiaga Sila. Going for the Elephants. Less said about that, the better. Is Seydou Doumbia showing his frustration here on the near side. A chance from a long way out by Frank Kessie, who takes his first shot of the match, but doesn't come close to testing Naby Yotara.
First real involvement we see from Kessie in the final third. It's always swinging away from goal.
Diallo. Guinea refusing to go away. Twice they were down. Twice they battled back to level terms. Doumbia gets it forward. Cornet absorbing the contact. It's Maxwell Cornet. Square ball looking for Doumbia. Picked up by Pogba. Right signs from Maxwell Cornet. The 20-year-old from Lyon, making just his second international appearance for Ivory Coast, but
looks to be a steady fixture for the future.
Fitting in nicely. Here's Naby Keita. Still Naby Keita showed too much of the ball to Aurier. Beaumont back the other way. Tempo of the match picking up. Final 20 minutes still ahead. Kessie. Beaumont. Adama Traoré, who's tripped up on the near side. And Francois Camano, who takes a seat. 6 goals in 30 matches for Bordeaux this season in Ligue 1. He's just scored his 4th international goal. In the 64th minute to level the score for Guinea. It's not Bangura's men giving the Ivory Coast all they can handle. In Bouake. Final 20 minutes of regulation. Possession has gone slightly in favor of Guinea, but it's essentially split down the middle. Combined 19 shots between them, 5 on target for Ivory Coast, and 2 goals apiece. Swung into the small area. Neatly collected by Nabi Atara.
Really the way through for Ivory Coast. Seydou Doumbia isn't exactly aerial presence, nowhere near. It's a poor ball from Kessie. He's trying to force it into that near post, but the run wasn't there.
Pouncing into action was Sylvain Beaumont. Takes it away from Demba Kamara. Here's Adama Traoré. Teammate of Seydou Doumbia in Swiss football at Basel. Seal. Kessie on the edge of the area. Leaves it for Seri. Put back inside. Sio!
Unlucky for him, he lost his footing. He's trying to curl it in with his left foot to that bottom corner. It just slips on the way down, so he doesn't connect with it as smoothly as he would have liked. It's good build-up. Been impressed with Seri as well. Everything he touches just plays a simple pass. Good vision going forward. Really like him in that position just behind the striker. And a lot of the reason why Nice had that success was that partnership in the midfield with Seri and Marlon Cyprien. Seri being one of the main breakout stars in the French football.
He played 34 of the 38. In fact, started 34 of the 38 games for Nice in his 2nd season at the Allianz Riviera. Initially caught the eye of Porto while playing in Ivory Coast. It was Porto who took him to Europe on a loan, but he ended up at Passos Ferreira in the Portuguese top flight. For back-to-back seasons now in Ligue 1. Last touch by Wilfried Cano. Well, we saw Camano down a moment ago. He's down again. It does look like he'll have to be subbed out. The man who scored the 2nd equalizer for Guinea.
That's bad news for Guinea. And he's been the sparkiest one of those attacking players. Camano, the Bordeaux man. It's that right ankle that he seemingly cannot put much weight on, but good to see him walking on his own terms.
So this opens up an opportunity for Alkali Bangura, a 21-year-old from Etoile de Soual in Tunisia. Will check in to make his 5th international appearance for Guinea. Bangura chipped forward, not able to link up with Demba Kamara. And that allows for the substitution, which will be a double switch. Guy Michel Landel will also check in. It's Alkali Bangura who replaces Camano on the wing. And Guy Michel Landel, the 26-year-old, who will check in for his 13th cap. Will be the second substitution. And he'll replace the goal scorer Sadio Diallo. So both goal scorers for Guinea coming off. One, a tactical decision by Lape Bangura. The other, the injury to Francois Kamano. What do you make of this?
Well, just gives him fresh legs there in the center of the park, but surprised that Diallo, no doubt about Kamano, he couldn't continue, but Diallo had a positive performance. Just get some fresh legs on. You see the climate really not helping the players, starting to really tire out in this sort of climate. They've been able to go toe-to-toe with Ivory Coast, one of the best teams in African football, so all the credit to Guinea. Plenty of very tired legs out there.
There's the newcomer Bangura, Kelly Bangura. It's a second chance, Alkali Bangura. The other substitute, Guy Michel Landel. Giving the ball away. Collected by Pogba. Laurent Pogba. Last quarter of an hour. Ivory Coast twice led. Twice conceded equalizers. Both goal scorers gone for Guinea. No substitutions yet for Mark Wilmots. One still available for Lape Bangura.
See which team's happy with the result, which is it. As Guinea are already starting their time-wasting tactics. Tana taking his sweet time to scoop up the ball. Obviously, Ivory Coast with the win. Surely they would be through. Leading the group.
Here's Naby Keita. Alkali Bangura, or Alseni Bangura. Alkali as well to hold on to possession under pressure there from Gabon. Going for Alkali Bangura. This is Alseni Bangura. Traore does poke it free, but another throw in for Guinea. Now it's Mark Wilmots who will make a double switch. Giovanni Sio will make way. And, will be replaced by Jeremy Boga. Also checking in is Sidiak. He's recently moved to Fulham in the championship, the 26-year-old Sidiak. So it's an attacking change made by Mark Wilmots as he looks to try and find the game winner in these final 13 minutes.
And Sidiak, a pacey striker as well, who will just line up right alongside Seydou Doumbia, giving him a bit more support.
Well, the throw in. It's Kamara poked in for Naby Keita!
And Guinea are in front. Twice they trailed. They're now up 3-2 with 11 minutes left. It's Ivory Coast 2, Guinea 3, and it's Naby Keita, the would-be game winner, from a throw-in.
Keita been causing all sorts of problems going forward, but here Eric Bailly was the one trying to step forward to get a foot on that ball, clear it away from the danger zone. He whiffs on it. And again, this Ivory Coast backline falling asleep. Look at this throw-in right here. And Bailly's the one that's trying to put himself in the way. That pass reaches across. It's about a few inches away from clearing it. And Naby Keita, what a game he's had, the Red Bull Leipzig man.
Magnificent first touch from Naby Keita. Essentially chips it over the legs of the Manchester United man Eric Bailly, and then recovers in time to get out in front of the PSG man Serge Aurier. Impressive fight from Guinea today.
You can see why Naby Keita was named to the All-Bundesliga side. That is some incredible company given the midfielders in that league. Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich. So many talented players, but it's Red Bull Leipzig, the fairy tale story in German football. Naby Keita, very much part of it.
I have to check on the status as well of, we talked about Kessie having a breakout season in Serie A. What about Amadou Diawara of Napoli, also available, or rather eligible to play for Guinea? Hasn't officially made up his mind as far as I know, but could you imagine that midfield of Diawara and Keita?
Diawara is more of a holding midfielder, but a great playmaker. Remember, he started at the Bernabeu in the Champions League for Napoli against Real Madrid. This is one of the biggest prospects if he does join Guinea in African football.
Siagasila's ball. Ball's in the area, but no danger for Ivory Coast. Obama will test now in the final 10 minutes for Ivory Coast. Twice they led. They now find themselves down the stretch. Blasted forward and well beyond the reach of Woga. Poor ball by Eric Bailly. Maybe still a bit rattled by the way he allowed Naby Keita to get away from him. He was in a good position initially, Bailly, but that first touch from Naby Keita was absolute magic. Undone into the middle, one back by Ivory Coast. This is Kessie. Strong from Boga, the newcomer, has found his fellow substitute Syriac. It's Doumbia, lost the ball underneath his legs, and it's cleared away. Adama Traore. Cano. The best delivery that time from Corning. It will be a throw-in for Ivory Coast. The Ivorians, two-time winners of the Africa Cup of Nations, of course in 2015, the most recent, when they beat Ghana on penalties after a scoreless draw in the final. Also won it back in the early 90s. Their first ever continental crown. Closest Guinea ever came was in 1976 when they finished as runners-up. It wasn't so much of a final back then, it was a final group stage instead. They finished second in that final group stage. Off the back of Wilfried Cannon.
For what's supposed to be one of the more talented defensive units in African football, been so disappointed with Ivory Coast's back line, especially Eric Bailly, £30 million defender of Manchester United, not really looking like himself today, both in possession and defensively. Given far too much space to Guinea, especially in the second half when they go forward. They've looked dangerous several times.
Good build up once more from Guinea. It's Alseni Bangura on the near side. Alkali Bangura making his way forward. Bangura from the edge of the area. Kessie's won it back for Ivory Coast and starts to counter.
That's what he does so well, box to box.
Seydou Doumbia has to slot it through, and it's Boga on the end of it. Deflected away. Corner kick for Ivory Coast.
That was all Kessie, though, winning the ball back in his own box and playing that through ball out wide. Single man counter attack.
Jeremy Boga delivers well short. Serge Aurier trying to get there. It's cleared away and a throw in for the Ivorians. by Aurier. This is Syriac with his back to goal. Back to Aurier. And that cross is out into orbit.
Inexcusable. And it's not even the first time. That's what's the most frustrating bit for these fans here. Came to watch their nation. They can't be quieted, though. You still hear the musical instruments blaring in the stands, trying to guide their way. So there is time for a comeback.
2017 becoming the year of Naby Keita. Performances for Red Bull Leipzig catching the eye. It'll be interesting to keep track of him during this summer transfer window. It's already a good performance from Naby Keita before the would-be game winner, punctuated by that exclamation mark of a goal. Sila who clears it.
Guinée. Le numéro 18,
Third and final substitution for Lape Bangura as he brings on Ibrahima Sankon. Still playing in domestic football for Oroya, the 21-year-old, and he'll step in to replace Seydou Bassouma. Suma, who had fizzled out a bit. He was the joint top scorer in Slovakia for Slovan Bratislava this season with 20 goals in 29 games. Scored that consolation goal against Algeria on June 6th, but he makes way as the final sub. Ibrahima Sankon is on. 16th cap for Sankon. The other Group H match between Central African Republic and Rwanda taking place tomorrow. Eastern stand Guinea top of the group with 3 points. Not just that, but from their most, at least on paper, their most difficult match of the group stage, away against the Ivory Coast.
Even a point would have been a golden one, and certainly did not expect to put 3 past Ivory Coast, but you see the attacking prowess mostly led by Naby Keita. Also been so impressed with Francois Kamano. Those two in particular have been standouts today for Guinea.
Pressure Aurier. So, sending plenty of men forward now, Wilmots. Sani Bangura cleared it away only as far as Jean-Philippe Beaumont. Adama Traore scooped over the top. Not able to find Maxwell Cornet. So the third and final substitution for Mark Wilmots and Ivory Coast is some more Ligue 1 influence on the Ivorians. It's Nicolas Pepe. Had a good season with Angers this season, the 22-year-old. He's on now for his 6th cap with the Ivory Coast. Reached the Coupe de la Ligue final, Angers against Paris Saint-Germain.
More importantly, they avoided relegation, which is always going to be their main objective in a season, hitting that 40-point mark. They topped it well enough.
Boga not able to fight through the challenge this time. Here come Guinea. Nice recovery from the newcomer, Nicolas Pepe. Cano. Wide for Cornet. Aurier. Good technique with the outside of his boot to find Canon on the near side. Opening up space again on the near side, but it's plucked out of the sky by Naby Yatara.
Again, these crosses, whether it's a set piece, a corner kick, or a cross, the deliveries have been so poor. 2 options at the far post making the run, and the goalkeeper did so well just to be in that spot to take away that path.
By the way, happy end to the season with Nicolas Pepe and Angers finishing, having secured their top flight status, but you have to feel a bit for them in that cup final. It was their first cup final in 60 years. They held Paris scoreless for 90 minutes, only to concede an own goal in the 91st.
Yeah.
It's cleared by Fode Kamara. Is Eric Bailly not going to be happy when he watches the game film of that would-be game-winning goal by Naby Keita? Minutes are up. 4 minutes tacked on. We'll play until at least the end of the 94th. Plenty of time for an Ivorian equalizer. Also time for Guinea to get an insurance goal on the board. Lundell. Flicked on for the substitute, Nicolas Pepe. Troubling giveaway, but Guinea do not make Ivory Coast pay for it. They may yet. This is Bangura. The substitute Akali Bangura testing his luck from distance.
Yeah, would have been the insurance goal. And not a bad one. He saw the goalkeeper off his line, so trying to curl it into that bottom corner. Nice technique there, just a side-footed effort.
Nodded forward by Kona. It's a wonderful performance by Guinea. They've defended well. They've twice been down. They've kept the Ivory Coast down for the moment. Here is Naby Keita. Serious man of the match considerations. There's a player down for Guinea. He does well to collect, denying Demba Kamara. Long diagonal out of the back, and out to meet it is Naby Atara. What a result this would be. Mentioned 7 matches since 2007, and Guinea have won none against Ivory Coast. Twice they managed to scratch off draws. Today they're looking at all 3 points. And then Bouake, no less. It's not over yet. This is Beaumont. Chested down by Syriac, but could not find the run on the far side of Boga. Lundell smartly looking to take some air out of the ball. Bangura.
Never gives the ball away, does he, Keita? Every time he's in possession, he's so calm on the ball. Look at that.
Once more.
No look.
Making inroads now is Balde. Swung back. It's Kamara. Had the option. Kamara! And it's palmed wide by Bowo. But Guy Michel Lundell is incredulous. Why was that ball not played to him?
Yeah, but great save. It's all started by Naby Keita, his passing, but look right here. He does well to turn the defender inside out, Serge Aurier. And then he's just trying to side foot it into that near post, and this is a great save. Oh, Bo, who was closer to that near post, but still have to wonder why that pass wasn't played. A bit selfish. Striker's instinct.
In fact, you could see actually Demba Kamara with a little hesitation as if he was going to pass to Lundell. Moves the defender away, took a shot himself. To his credit, it was on target. Here's Keita battling with Jeremy Boga. And goes against Naby Keita. It's a bottle that's just been thrown onto the pitch. Quite the arm, by the way, to get that over the barricade and onto the pitch from that distance. Final 10 seconds of the 4 minutes added on. Throw in for the Ivorians. Last chance for the Elephants. A crowded 18. It's another bottle that's landed in the field of play. Mario has either not seen it or isn't interested in stopping the action. Well, swung in toward the heart of the penalty spot. And it's Alkali Bangura who collects. There is the final whistle. It is a famous win for Guinea. Ivory Coast 2, Guinea 3, as they climb to the top of Group H. The goals by Francois Kumano, Naby Keita the winner. Sadio Diallo had scored the initial equalizer. Well, twice they were behind, but they've come away on top, and it's Naby Keita the reason why. Our man of the match brought to you by Ford. Go further, as Naby Keita has his third international goal, came in the 78th minute and was the game winner.
Continuing his fine form from RB Leipzig, and he did it all today. The passing, the defense, attacking and scoring. Complete performance.
And it's Guinea who climbed to the top of Group H after match day 1. For Matteo Bonetti, I'm Andres Cordero. So long for now.
This Africa Cup of Nations qualifier